Thanks for joining me today. The class that you're about to take is on knee stability. The intention is to help the soft tissue around the knee do what it needs to do to help keep us active, moving, and happy in our joints. So you will need at least one block, and I like cork blocks, but for today, grab a foam one and a yoga strap. Let's get started. So to begin today's class, take a block and we're going to place it right in between your inner thighs. And I want you to draw your feet so they're about hip width distance. Depending on how your bones are aligned, you might have your feet a little wider or slightly narrower. But the idea here is to grip the block with your inner thighs. You're going to drop your tailbone down and take a big breath in as you open your shoulders out to the side. So the idea here is that you're engaging your quadriceps in a healthy way, inwardly spiraling. Lift both arms up to the ceiling. Inhale, maybe look up. And then exhale, bring your arms down alongside you. Take the block now and we're going to place it right at the knee, slightly above it, and send your hips back into Utkatasana. So you don't want it directly, you don't want to hold the block with your knees, you want it slightly above it. So make sure that, and the short part of the block is looking out, okay? Then from here, this is really important because Utkatasana is one of these poses that shows up in a lot of yoga classes, especially flow classes. So you never want to send your knees forward over your toes. That's just like bad news. You want to think about sending your hip bones back and your shins back. Now, we've got this block here. That's necessitating an inward spiral of the thighs, inward and down as we send back. So these are ways to help the soft tissue around the knee stabilize. Feel the outer shins pulling in. Good, and then from here you can lift your arms up. Keep sending your butt back. So that's really important, okay? And what else is super important, you guys, is weight into your heels. So you don't want to have yourself pitching forward, not in Utkatasana. You want to have your weight into your heels, pressing you back. Lift your arms up. Gaze is down. So don't try to look forward or even up way too much on the upper neck. So, you know, obviously this is a knee class, but it's important to take good care of the whole system. That's how I roll, because like, you're not going to be knees when it's over. You're going to be the whole body. So we want knees happy and the rest of us happy. Pull that core in. Give yourself 3 more breaths. Inhale. This is work. Can you feel it? Thighs are warming up. Exhale. And 2. Inhale. Exhale it out. That's it. Releasing the jaw. Don't grip it. Sometimes in effort we grip. Don't grip. Inhale. Keep the block there as you exhale. Uttanasana. Forward fold. So here, your weight actually is in your toes. That's so that you're not dangling on the ligaments of the knee. Drop your head, breathe. Inhale, maybe you sway side to side, what feels good for your body. Exhale, let your neck be long so you're releasing the stress. 1 more big breath, inhale. Exhale the breath all out. Bend your knees, come on up to standing. Take that block, we're gonna need it later, but we'll put it over here onto the side. From here, I want you to step your right foot forward and come into a low lunge. So you could get here through a downward dog. We'll get to a downward dog in a moment, but come into a low lunge. Your hands can be tented fingers. You certainly can have your hand on the block. And what I want you to do here is to bring your attention to your feet. So open up your toes as best you can. We know that what happens in the feet has a direct impact on the ankles and the knees, right? So we want to keep our feet healthy, and you're going to press through the ball of the back foot. Energize your back leg. So you're sending the hamstring up to the ceiling, and give yourself 3 more breaths here. You're opening up that left hip flexor. And 2, long spine. Exhale. Good, you guys. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to plant the hands on the floor, step back to a high plank. From here, you're pressing into the balls of your feet. So you're stretching. It's a gentle stretch for the soles of the feet. We're going to do something It's a little more intense for them in a moment. So you're strengthening your arms, and then send your hips up into downward facing dog. Heels away from one another. Bend your knees and let your head just drop. You know, there's a lot we think about, and there's a lot of ways that we can help ourselves release the stress. And sometimes, I don't know about you, but there are ways we can unintentionally cultivate the stress. So what we're going to do here is cultivate peace, cultivate fluid breath, and cultivate a gratitude for ourselves for doing practices that support our bodies. So, so valuable. One more breath here. Inner thighs, spin back, outer arms, spin down into your heels, and then step your left foot forward with your core for a lunge on this side. Press through the ball of the back foot. Lengthen the chest. Up onto the fingertips is great, or block. So you decide what feels best for you, and it might be different on each side, right? So we look like symmetrical creatures, and we know we're not. So that's cool. Honesty is important. Honesty with kindness is critically important. Pressing through the ball of the back foot, rest, sending your chest forward, releasing forward. 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Pull that navel into your spine. 1 more breath. Inhale. Nicely done. Exhale it out. Come to a high plank and then send your hips high into downward facing dog, with or without bent knees. Totally your call. Take another full breath. Inhale here. As you exhale, navel into spine, drop your knees to the floor. We're going to take a block. So listen, if being on your knees, because we're going to come down like this in a moment, if that bums your knees out, we're actually going to come down like this. If this bums your knees out, just having contact with a harder surface, I want you to take your blanket, grab a blanket or a pillow and tuck it underneath your knees, okay? No reason to piss off a knee. They need gentleness, so that's where we're operating. So if it feels better for you to throw a blanket down, that's great. You're going to take a block at its longest setting and roll your toes under. So then you're going to put that block right at the bottom towards the ankle so that you can sit down on it. So it's like you're creating like a little lift for yourself. So this is stretching the fascia of the feet, and you may not have needed me to tell you that. If this is too much, you want to come forward almost like into tabletop. And then you can work your way back if it feels good, or just hang out where you feel like that's a level of intensity. That's enough for me. So you want to sit back if it's possible. If not, this is great. What we're doing is we are letting the tension in the feet release, in the metatarsals release, because when our feet hold tension, it can screw up our knees, you know? So we know this, so that's why we're doing this pose, which is not always the most pleasant pose. I understand, I get it, I'm in it, I'm with you. But work here, and then if you like, you can interlace your hands behind you and lift your chest up. Now, if that's too much and you're just like, I can take all I can bear right now, then hands down or even on the floor, and give yourself 5 more breaths. And if it's too much, obviously, just come out of it. 4. Being kind to ourselves is such an important part, the most important part perhaps of any practice, that and breath. And let's face it, breath is kindness. 1 more here. Inhale. Very nice, you guys. Exhale, release your hands, come into tabletop, and then get that block out of there. Tap the tops of your feet. Tap them out. We're going in the other direction. Tap, 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 tap. Good. Releasing it, and then roll over those toes. Downward facing dog. Full breath here. And a long breath out. Shake your head side to side. Big breath in. Release the breath away. Bend your knees, come up to the top of your mat. Long spine lifts you up. So if you have a wall nearby, and I would recommend you yank your mat over to a wall for the next little bit. you can use it here. So I'm gonna pull my mat closer to the wall. And this is a balancing pose, and you can make it fully balancing by not using the wall for this particular pose, or you can hold on to the wall, because the emphasis here is not necessarily the balance, but it's the lengthening. So holding on to the wall, if that feels right, or no wall, if that feels better, you're gonna stand on your right foot, bend your left knee, and take hold of the outside of the left knee. I'm sorry, the left foot. So often when I teach dancer, I'll say take hold of the inside because we're working pectoralis. But here, we're just intending to work the quadricep. So you're gonna draw the left heel back towards your buttocks. It should not piss off your knee. If at any point your knee is like, what are you doing? Or even a question mark, move your leg forward. And you can always take this on the floor if that feels better. So for here, you can stay with the hand on the wall, or you can turn it into a bigger balance. Trying not to move sideways when you're doing this by holding on to your foot with both hands and lift your chest. Now, if you have your foot with both hands, you can kind of massage your foot a little bit. Again, the intention is releasing the knee and the soft tissues around the knee. Breathe for 3, 2, and release that puppy down. There you go. Good. And then we'll go to the other side. So again, you can hold on to the wall, or you can make it a balancing pose, standing tall in the left leg, lifting up. Take hold of the right, top of right foot. And then you can stay there, you can hold on to the wall, or you can bring both hands back to the foot and then massage the foot. Massage the foot if you have both hands on it, yes. It's tricky, I know, but you know what? It's amazing, because some of us, our knee stuff is because we're really active. We're bikers, we run, do a lot of walking. So this is a way to release the tension in the quadricep that can result from all that activity. Yeah, nice, you guys. 3 more breaths here. Inhale. Keep lifting through the chest. Exhale, that's it. 2 more. In and out. Last big breath. Inhale. Nicely played, you guys. Kick it out. Here we go. Downward facing dog. And what we're gonna do here is a high scissor warrior. So this pose is intended to release the side body, especially the upper leg. So like IT band, you might even feel this in the lateral hamstring. You'll bring your right knee in towards your chest. That's gonna tip your shoulders forward a little bit. That's okay to begin. Right knee in towards your chest, and then underneath you and off the mat, all the way to the left side of the room. Now, if you bow your ankle in this pose, like you drop your ankle down towards the floor, you're not gonna feel the stretch. So get the bang out of this buck, would you? Press the ball of the right foot forward so the ankle's nice and straight. You're on the outer edge of the right foot, and the closer you walk your right foot to your hands, your left hand, the more intense this puppy becomes. It becomes a very intense pose very fast. Left leg is long, straight behind you. Drop your head, don't clench the jaw. Notice the residual and typical places that we hold tension, and that's such good information, isn't it? So just notice it and let it go. 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, breath in. Very good, breath out. Let's have both feet back into a downward facing dog. Shake your head side to side. Spin your heels over to the right, so you're stretching the left side of your body. Egyptian dog, feet go back through center. Egyptian dog, other side. Just stretching out the side body. Relaxing the neck, and then come back through center. Ready for the left side? Here we go. Your shoulders will float slightly over the wrist. The left knee comes into the chest, and then underneath you. And now it's off to the other side. So the left foot is all the way on the right side, the rightmost side that your leg can move to. You can feel that in the outer seam, most likely, of that left foot. If you don't feel it, make sure your left ankle is not bowing towards the floor, but you're actually pressing and flexing the left toes. And if you need more, you're gonna walk that left foot up. I can't do any more. If I walk that left foot up, that's not gonna be a happy place for me. I'll lose my breath. So you don't wanna lose your breath. Hips go back, one more full breath. Inhale. Nice, exhale, both feet straight back, downward dog. Breath comes in and breath goes out. Navel into spine, high plank, low plank, and then come into Sphinx Pose. So you're on the belly of the forearm, lift the chest, legs are long behind you, hip width distance, and then you're actually pulling your knees off of the mat in this pose. So feel your knees off of the mat because your legs are engaged, your quadriceps are engaged. Open the chest a little bit more. One more full breath. And exhale it out. Pulling yourself back up into a downward facing dog, any way you want to get there. Big breath in. Long breath out. Bend your knees. Let's come up to the top of the mat. I'm still up against this wall, and that's by design. I want you to be as well. Take your right foot, take your block. You're gonna press your toes up against, for me, it's this, floorboard, heater. You might have a baseboard, that's fine. So you're gonna press your right toes up against that. Walk your left foot back. Take the block. You want it right underneath the knee, into the tibia, actually, the main part of the shin. And it's this side of the block that's pressing in between the wall and your shin. So not at the knee, but right underneath the knee. Good. Can you feel that? So we're stabilizing the knee here so we can stretch open the hip on the other side. So that's really great. Reach the right arm up, and we're retraining our soft tissue of the knee to be stable. Bring the right forearm down, right palm spins to the ceiling, left arm up and over, maybe it touches the wall, and use that as leverage. If your hand is on that wall, use it to begin to turn and open. Oh, so beautiful. Opening up the left side of the ribs. That's good, you guys. Keep breathing. Push into the outer edge of your back foot for 3. Now, if your toe starts slipping down the wall, so be it. 2. And last 1. Inhale. Nice. Exhale. We're going to press up and take that block with us. Good. Let's switch sides. So you'll have the left foot forward, the right leg comes back. Kind of like a warrior 2 type position for Parsva. Place that block right underneath the knee and get your toes up first. So it takes a little rearranging, that's okay. The whole point, it's not a performance, right? It's a practice so that we cultivate letting go and strengthening what needs to be strengthened. So once the block is there and you're pressing the shin into the block is pressing into the wall, your left toes are lifting, then you take your left hand, palm spins to the ceiling. You might be able to have a little more space now. You can rearrange, move the right leg back a little bit if that feels good. And then up and over, use the wall. Place your hand on the wall, spin your chest. Maybe you look to the side, neck is soft, there's no tension. We're not cultivating tension, we're releasing it. Good, you guys. 3 more breaths here. So keep the energy active of the shin pressing into the block, the back leg pressing back. Excellent. 1 more breath here. Inhale. And we're going to come out of it. Use the wall to press yourself up. And off we go. Very nice. So from here, what I want you to do is place the block down. We're going to take the yoga strap. This is a little challenging, tricky balancing, but you got this. You got this. Stand on your left foot, left leg. Take the yoga strap, wrap it around the sole of your right foot. Now, I know some of you can do this by just grabbing your foot. That's cool, but I'm going to teach this with the yoga strap because I want you to have a little more space in your chest as you're strengthening the knee, but also lengthening the IT band. Take the strap, your hand, left hand, strap in the left hand, right hand moves out to the side, and you begin to twist, flex your right toes. Can you feel how this is like scissor warrior, kind of? So you're opening up through the side of the leg to release the tension that is in and around the knee. Keep breathing. 5. Keep lengthening chest up, turn to the right. 4. Toes are open. You got this. 3 and 2 and 1. Very nicely done. Let's place that right foot down. Before we get to the other side, you can take that block again. Place it in front of you. Feet are out. So your feet are about 3 to 4 feet away from one another. Turn your right toes so they're facing the top of the mat. Left toes so they're facing the back corner of the mat, and bend the left knee. Hands on block, and you're going to feel this stretch through the right inner thigh. Breathing, let your head be long, your neck be long, and then make sure you're moving yourself forward just a little bit. Just landing in a pose. So good. 2 more breaths. And then both feet straight. Very nice. Bend your knees. Grab that block. We're going to side 2. You ready? Right foot is down. Take the strap. Wrap it around the left foot. And as you're ready, I start with both hands on the strap so I can get my leg positioned straight forward. Then I'll switch. Right hand takes hold of it. Moving the right hand closer to the toes is fine. And then you'll turn to the left. Turn, left arm out behind you. Keep the leg elevated. So good. Keep twisting, keep turning. Give the left foot a lot of push for 5, 4, 3, energy through the right leg, so don't sink into the right hip. 2 and 1. Beautiful. Coming out of that. Leave the strap somewhere where you can reach it. Coming down, moving into this variation of Skandasana. So right toes slightly out, so they're turning towards the back right corner. Right knee bends. Left toes to the back of the mat, and you can lift them off of the floor. Position the block so it's supporting you. And then lean into your pose and feel the inner thigh on the left side, letting go. Tip your pelvis forward a little bit. Keep moving that right knee out to the right. Another 2 breaths. Last one here. Inhale. Nice, you guys. Exhale. Now we're coming into Prasarita Padottanasana. So you can keep the block and have your hands on the block if that feels good, or you can move the block out of the way. Toes are pointing in, hands to floor or block. And what I'd like you to do here is really press into the outer edges of each foot. Drop the top of your head towards the floor. Outer edges of each foot is so good because what you're doing is you're energizing the inner channel of each leg. So this is important. We're promoting a health of the entire joint system in the lower body. Knees, ankles, toes. Maybe you lift your toes off the floor, press down a little more through the outer side of each foot. 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale it out. And then bend your knees. Come on up to standing. You know, whenever I transition from high, if I'm standing and I'm moving into a forward fold, I have soft knees. I have long, my hamstrings are pretty long. It's not that I can't do it, it's that this is better for the knees. So as you're transitioning, slight bend in the knees, come forward. So you're moving the chest forward and down. The weight is forward into the feet. And then you can straighten your legs to your degree. Head turned side to side, releasing any tension. Full breath here. Long breath out. Bend the knees again, come all the way up to stand, reach tall, look up. And now, soft knees as you forward fold into your Uttanasana. Halfway lift. Now, inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, we're going to come to a high plank. You can have knees on the floor if they don't feel too tender to do that, or you can have them off the floor. Low plank, upward dog, or cobra, or sphinx. Your call. Knees can be way off the floor or on the floor. Again, it's up to how your back and body feel. And then downward facing dog. So let's go over some basics. Your right foot, let's step it forward into Crescent Lunge. So you've got the back toes, the foot all warmed up. Lift your arms up to the ceiling. Now, here's something that's really important, especially when we're working with knee stability. You want to feel pressure pushing into the heel of your front foot. You might feel a little pressure in the big toe mound and maybe the pinky toe mound of your front foot, but it's really about relieving the pressure from the knee by pushing into the heel of your front foot. So press down through the heel, you'll pull back through the right hip, lift both arms up to the ceiling, inhale, and then as you exhale, hands come to your heart. We're gonna twist on your next exhale, left elbow past the right knee, but I want you to wiggle the back leg back a little bit so that there's not pressure, less pressure on that right knee. Then twist. And you can even set your whole crescent lunge up that way. You know, you don't have to bring it in short. You can make it longer and that will take a little pressure off the knee. Now from here, you're pushing the left elbow into the right outer seam of the thigh. Press the left thigh up. Breathe and turn the chest for 5, 4. Keep breathing, keep turning. Keep dropping your mind into what you're doing. 3, where are the sensations? Stay with you now. 2, we're practicing keeping our mind connected to our bodies in a healthy and non-critical way. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale it out. Hands down on the floor. Walk the back foot up. You can use a block. Place it on the inside of your right foot. And then it's a variation of pyramid pose. You're pulling back with the right hip. Both legs are straight. Drop the head. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in. Good, you guys. Breath out. 1 more here. Inhale. And exhale it out. Nicely done. Let's go. High plank and low. Skip it if you need to skip it. Upward dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Full breath in. Notice how the energy is moving. You can feel more aliveness through your whole body, your whole being. And then here we go. Left foot. We're in a crescent lunge. Setting it up. So like I mentioned earlier, you can wiggle that back foot back, or you can keep it there for stability. It's really up to you. Root down through that left heel before you go anywhere, and then up we come. And if it still feels unstable, you want to widen your base, so walk your feet, especially the left foot, out to the left. There it is, arms up. Wiggle the back foot back if that feels good once you're in it. Drop the tailbone. You're lifting. Keep that core engaged. Maybe even lift through the perineum. So now you've got stability in the pelvic structures to help support the lower body system. Reach up. Inhale. Exhale. Lighten the toes on the left side so they don't have to grip. Really put energy through that left heel, you guys. Maybe the left heel kicks out slightly to the left. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Hands to your heart. We're twisting around. This is it. Turning into your Parvrita Anjalayasana, your twisting crescent lunge. This is great for releasing tension in the side body, good for digestion. And for our purposes today, we're pulling back with that left hip. This is how I'd like you to always practice this pose. There's a draw back of the left hip, so there's no pressure on that left knee as you're taking your pose. And that's true if your hands are in prayer or if they're opened, which we didn't do today, but you certainly can. Good, 1 more breath. Inhale. Nice. Exhale, both hands down. You're gonna walk that back foot up. Take a block if that feels right. Peeling back with that left hip here, and we're just lengthening the hamstring. Drop your head. Breathe with you. Letting the breath be active. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale it out. Moving the block out of the way. Both feet step forward. Inhale, both arms up to the ceiling. And exhale. You might need to back up if you're standing in front of the wall. Forward fold. Bend at those knees as you come down. Then once you're there, straighten them out. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale. We're coming to a high plank. And a low plank. Send your toes back. Upward facing dog. Inhale. And downward facing dog. As you exhale, full breath in. Press back with your heels. Exhale, send your heels slightly out away from one another. One more breath. Inhale. And letting it go. Come onto your knees, you guys. Very good. We're going to take that yoga strap. We're going to do 2 little mini awesomeness before we wrap. All right, so you're going to want the yoga strap kind of mid-thigh. So thread it through your lower legs so that it's at mid-thigh. Then use that D-ring there to tighten it up. Yeah, so that it's holding your legs together mid-thigh, okay? Right there. Then scoot yourself down. Keep your knees bent for the time being. Lie down. And then what I want you to do is press your heels into the floor and let them slip away with energy so that your legs ultimately get straight. Good. Now from here, engage your quadriceps. So your energy is moving up. This is great. This is so good for stabilizing knees. So this is a fantastic pose. You could also do this at the beginning of your practice. Okay? So here we go. Breathing here. Legs are active. Toes are active. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale it out. Feels so good. Okay, now we're going to go next step up. Look, if that was nirvana, hang out. That's awesome. Stay there. If you want the next step up, you're going to move the yoga strap closer to the knees, not on the knees, but at where the top of the knee meets the quadricep, the bottom of the quadricep. Cinch it up, because obviously that's shorter than it was mid. And then again, knees are bent. Yeah, you're right down there. Knees are bent, and then move your heels away, away, away. Engage. Engage through your quadriceps now. This is a beautiful way to stabilize. Open the chest. Notice if the shoulders are like, what's happening? And they'll round. So encourage them to let go. Breathe. 5 more breaths. Relaxing the neck, sides of the neck. 4. 3, keep legs really active. That's the money maker in this pose. Last 2, inhale. Exhale. Last big breath. Inhale. And exhale it out. Nice, you guys. Bend your knees, pull them into your chest, release the yoga strap. That is very good. And then you can do any finishing poses that feel right. Or you can just lengthen your legs down the mat. Now, if you have 2 blocks and you want to pop them underneath the backs of your knees for your yoga strap, for your Shavasana, that's fine. Or you can just rest in any position that feels like it's going to help you restore. And after I do a targeted practice like this, sometimes I like to imagine that the part of my body that has had some aches, I try to visualize it filled with beautiful white golden healing light. So if you believe the people who study visualization and the impact on our body, the light is kind of golden, a little bit of white, a little bit of pink tinge. That's a healing energy. So just bringing that into your knees, if that's where the aches have been. And then let that gorgeous light flood your whole lower body system. So all the way down, calves, shins, ankles, heels, bottom of your foot, top of your foot, toes, and in between each toe, filled with light. And then as you inhale, bring beautiful energy through the rest of your system. So bring that beautiful light into your whole system. So through the top of your head, your face, mouth, jaw, ears, front of your throat, relaxing the back of your throat, back of your head. Relax your shoulders, your arms. Relax your abdomen, shoulder blades. Feeling a real ease in the pelvis and the hips, throughout the organs of assimilation, digestion, reproduction. Your quadriceps, letting them go. And then there we are, back to our knees, ascending the knees, a little blessing and a little thank you. Thank you for holding us up. And thank you for indicating that you needed a little extra TLC. And as you rest a little longer, maybe you can even thank yourself for taking the time to take good care of you. So rest as long as you need. I'm going to sign off here and say namaste. And thank you so much for practicing with me today. Have an awesome one.